Good evening and good day, Pokemon players. Welcome to your new favorite pod, the Attach and Pass podcast. Tonight we're going to go over EUIC results, the issues that have been plaguing our favorite online client, PTCGL, and we're going to look at some new products that are coming out.
All right, so as we have now at the tail end of Prismatic Evolution, we do also have one more tournament coming up that is Vancouver. But I feel like before we talk about what we just had with EUIC, I kind of just want to check in with everybody. How's everyone doing today?
Amazing.
Great.
I'm doing fine.
I'm doing all right. Tired, but good.
Yeah, you seem pretty exhausted.
A lot of flying.
Yeah, I can't blame you. You stayed for an extra little bit.
Yeah, I left early too. It was a good trip though. UIC was definitely such a great experience.
Yeah, do you want to talk about it at all?
Let us know.
I know we just want to
Persuade us to go to London.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I had a blast. I left the Monday before UIC, spent Tuesday and Wednesday doing touristy stuff, like doing Tower of London, Sky Garden, having drinks on top of a giant skyscraper in central London, which was fantastic. Highly recommend that experience. We had to book that out a month out though, but we were like, all right, cool. And then Thursday was obviously check-in day for EUIC. That was it was super well organized actually. Like I would give a lot of credit, as this was my first IC. I haven't done 80 ICs since Nationals era, when you could go to one and that was all you could do. And then Friday, competition day. We want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, we
had probably the worst run I've had at a major event.
Oh no!
Major crash out. I decided to settle on Nicole's 60 Snorlax from Puerto Rico. I just decided to run that back. The deck felt really good. All of the testing, all of everything from that deck felt fantastic. In hindsight, teching for Lugia was probably the biggest mistake I've ever made. Because the one Lugia I did play, I just played 3 flutes and they lost.
Yeah.
I did not need the Temple of Sinnohs when they could not put Archeops in play.
Right.
And then I still wound up tying with them. I went 1 win, 2 loss, 3 ties. And then I said, I'm really tired of being tie purgatory. My round 1 was against actually a very good friend. His name's Connor Fenton. Shout out Connor. Flying all the way across the world to go play against probably the first person I ever played in a Pokemon League, which was really kind of crazy.
That's kind of fun though.
Yeah, he's from Georgia. So we played round 1. He was playing probably the worst possible matchup for Snorlax, which was Badoo Poison Lock. So he goes turn 1 Mochi. He goes second. Turn 1 Precious Trolley with Terapagos on board. Slaps 8 Pokemon on the bench, and I don't see a cloth. And I'm like, oh, I think I'm okay. And he goes Biting Mochi, Badoo, free retreat, Badoo me for 80, pass. And I'm like, great. I don't really know what to do here.
He flew all the way across the world to play this deck.
Yeah,
this was the play to him. This is the play to win EUIC to him.
Yes.
6-2-1 into day 2.
That's crazy.
He day 2'd.
He day 2'd. He finished
300
here.
I'm fine.
His list is floating around. I will bonk it over, actually, in chat, if anybody wants
to.
He was the last place person of day 2.
That's
so funny.
He was last place on day 2. He was number 300.
Yeah. I give him credit.
360.
To put in perspective, though, Connor is an extremely accomplished Pokemon player. He won Arlington Regionals. He is 29th. He's top 32 worlds in 2017. We
If you click on his name, you can see some good finishes.
Oh yeah, but I mean, this is the play.
He used to like Lugia a lot back when it was good.
He was a Lugia bot. Just shout out Connor.
Shout out Connor. I am glad that you made. I'm sorry, it's 360th. I misread. Yeah. He made 360th out of 360 on day 2.
There's no picture for his deck. It's just blank.
Yeah, there is no picture because there's no crab. It doesn't know what to put it as on Limitless yet. So then round 2, that was my first loss. My round 2 was a Lugia player from Mexico, which I discussed that already. Lost game 1, fluted his board out of the game 2, fluted his board out of the game 3, but he played so freaking slow. And we went to a time and tied. Round 3 was... Oh, it was Dragapult. Dragapult, and that cooked me. Dragapult cooked me so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Just turn 2, Rare Candy, Dusknoir, Rare Candy, Dusknoir, I lose. There's not much you can do there in that situation. Round 4 was a lovely Regidrago player from Ireland. Sweetest man I've ever met. Had a hard time understanding a lot of what he said because his accent was so thick. But he was such a sweetheart.
How do you know he was sweet then if you can't even understand it? He could have just been saying tons of stuff with a smile.
He really could have. But it was really nice to just play. We tied as well, so that put me at 0-2-2. I'm crashing out at this point, and I'm like, this is going rough. I really would like to see a favorable matchup. Go into my round 5. My opponent flips over a Palkia, and I'm like, this might be either really good, really bad. They go Nest Ball, Terapagos, and I go, all right, I'm cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Because he looks at me. I flip over Snorlax. He looks at me and goes, I took out everything. I took out everything for this. Oops. So I think it was like a couple really good misfortunes. Like I think turn 3 or 4 of game 1, I hit a misfortune and hit Switch Prime, and he immediately picked up the cards. And it was like, yep, I just really don't have a way out of that game. And then game 2, similar situation. I just established a really good board lock. I had him fanned really well. Like I was hitting the fans really well, and I had trapped 6 energy in play, and I'm like, I don't think you have any more energy. Boss's orders, Radiant Greninja. And he's like, yep, I'm out of energy. GG. And he's like, and then we talk it afterwards. He's like, I dropped my Thornton and my Kieran. And I'm like, yeah, those are really good decks for Snorlax. Like it gets caught in the crossfire. And then my last round, so that put me at 1-2-2. I was starting to feel confident. I was like, all right, cool. I won a game. I'm feeling like I can win a game now. Round what was it? 1-2-2. So that puts me at round 5. So round 6, I said, lovely woman, lovely lady from actually from not far from where my dad lives in South Greenwich. She flips over Guardy, and I'm like, okay, so this is the matchup I've worked the most because we have an amazing teammate, Joe, who's helped me work this matchup into the ground. Shout out, Joe. We're playing. I hit a Misfortune Sisters as I'm flipping her deck through the Misfortunes. I see Iron Crown EX in a Gardevoir EX deck. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to try and hit that on a flute later on in the game. Finish the game. Start game 2, rip the first. I win game 1 because I've trapped out all the energy. She's like, there's 6 and 3 energy trapped, and I'm like, all right, I think I win this at this point. Boss's orders up something that I think it was like Screamtail with no energy on it, and it's trapped. And so we go to game 2. I rip the first flute. It's like Monkey Dory, Ralts, Iron Crown. And I'm like, I will take the monkey and the Iron Crown. And then we get through that game. There's like maybe like 10 minutes left in the round. and she wins, and I'm like, all right, I don't think we're gonna get through game 3. And she's like, that's fair. We start it, we get like halfway through the game, doesn't get like super well established that we could call a winner. So she's like, we'll call it a tie, and I'm like, that's fair. At that point, I'm like, I want to go get food. It's like 7:00 at night, which was like, it's not super late, but it's like 7:00. We're just finishing round 7.
Yeah, you're there for a while still.
Yeah, so I'm like, all right, let's go get food.
What time did it start?
So that was actually part of. I'm gonna touch on this a little bit in a second here, because I have some gripes with how EUIC went.
Okay.
With like, so we're supposed to start at 9:00. They have their opening ceremony like they do with any IC. I don't know how many people have played in ICs before. They have a band on stage singing, and we're all like having to sit there and wait on this band to do its song, and then they do the opening ceremony, and then they play another song. But while all of this is happening, nobody has cell phone signal. The Wi-Fi is not working in the venue. RK9 is loading at the speed of smell. It is so slow, and nobody can figure out where they're supposed to be for pairings. I had to go up to 3 different judges because none of them had cell service to figure out my pairing.
Oh my gosh!
Like, that was I know that there are some people who are like, I don't think that getting cell service at the venue is a big deal. I think that you should just be able to go to a judge. I was like, well, yes, you could probably go to a judge if a judge also has signal. You can wait on paper pairings, but there were 3,000 masters who were having the same problem you're having,
right?
Also waiting on paper pairings. You can only do that with so many people.
Yeah.
So that was my big gripe with probably the entirety of the event. Where was I at though? It was.
Do you think that was a problem with the venue itself, like the way it's built, or something, or do you think it's because of the amount of people that were there?
So it could have been both. I think there was there's the juniors area, and then there was like a second entrance. You could kind of like stick your phone out in the second entrance, and like out in the hallway, and you would get cell service. And you could. I was sticking it out there, getting mine and my partner's pairing, and then coming back like table whatever, and then we'd all go to our tables at that point by like round 3 or 4.
Gotcha.
Sounds like a back alley than a venue.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys were in like a concrete box.
It really felt like it. And I didn't think that it would feel crowded because I've been to the Excel. I go to London pretty regularly. It might be the most crowded I thought that venue could get. That venue was packed. They definitely next year. I expect them to probably need more venue space.
They need a different venue because that was too expensive. The tickets and everything.
I mean, I'm biased. I have family there, so it's always really affordable for me to get there. But
But even the price for the registration ticket.
Oh yeah, $100 was not easy, especially because I bought 2 and then my kid.
Right.
Thankfully, juniors are really cheap to play Pokemon still. Shout out Pokemon for letting juniors play for $40, $50.
Yeah, that's good.
That is good.
And then outside of that though, to tie back in, I do think Snorlax was a good meta pick, as we saw in top 8. There were 2 Snorlaxes. If we want to segue into more of the top 8 talk,
yeah, we can if we want.
Yeah, Snorlax
surprisingly
felt like a good pick if we want to discuss the 2 in top 8. Shout outs to Roan and Daniel.
Yeah, it's definitely surprising that that and Dragapult are the only 2 the only 2 duplicates on the board. Surprisingly, there was a Dragapult with a 0 Dust Noir. Those were not completely gone from this.
That was the Fernandez brothers list. They ran the Unfair Stamp, Klefki, Alakazam. They went hard, and they ran a Monkey Dory. So they went all in on
Crystal.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
No, because they run Stamp. It was all in on just Disruption, taking, large prize turns between Monkey Dory and the Dragapults and the Alakazam.
Only one Crispin feels kind of crazy without running Crystal.
I think it's because they slowed everything down with the Badoos and the Klefki.
Two Badoo and a Klefki is fair. Like, that is... Honestly, this is definitely a list that I think going forward, if I'm going to play any sort of control archetype, I'm going to start looking at the counts for a list like this, because I think this might be the way going forward for this deck.
Yeah, it's definitely
I can see that.
Unique variant to the other two, especially when it comes to the more push that's Dragapult Noir instead of taking it. I guess technically they're both in the multi-prize turn department, but this one seems more extremely slower in my opinion. But it's still but I feel like this has the potential to take more prizes quicker.
And
to also touch on that, also with Vinny, Gabe, his brother, also won seniors with the same 60.
Same 60, yeah.
So this is clearly got something going on.
I would argue I do think the version with Dusk Noir is going to continue to be popular, if only because Natalie Miller is a very popular player and piloted all the way to second place.
Of course, yeah.
I do say shout out Natalie as well.
And honestly, she could have got first place, perhaps if maybe the finals went a different way. If y'all would like to give opinions on how you think the finals went.
I was looking at my phone both times round 1 and 3 and looked up and they were like, that's it. And I was like, I know exactly what happened, and that's interesting.
Yeah. Me and Nicole were driving to a cup, from a cup, I don't remember. But I had it playing through the speakers on the car, but we had turned it down because we were talking about something. And when I turned it back up, they were talking about round 2, and I was like, wait a second, where was round 1?
The dog.
It's very, very on par with these poison decks.
I mean, that's why you play Cloth, right? Is the dog.
Oh yeah, you hope almost all your matches end up like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want, is them to attach pass, if anything, or they roll you into first and you just have all the pieces to get the P.E.K.K.A run out and you just boop. Yeah. They don't even get to draw for turn.
Yeah, I've always had the decision that, especially with Dragapult and in my opinion with Guardy, those two decks in particular, if your opponent cannot donk you, you're basically just in the driver's seat. This is basically what happened during round 2.
Oh yeah.
Just Natalie showing off that as long as she survives, she can easily take out the competition about this. And sadly, especially round 1, it was so depressing to just watch that pass happen into round 3 donk.
I'm a Cloth believer, but I did want Natalie to win. So I was pretty disappointed in it, though. I'm like, yeah, the Cloth deck, that is what it does. That is exactly what it's built to do, and it demonstrated it very well. Yeah, I wanted Natalie to win, though.
So I was also cheering for Natalie after her play on stream where she stalled out for game against the Arch.
That was crazy.
Because that was
fantastic.
Genius, fantastic, risky, awesome game. That was my favorite game of the entire stream.
I literally was just like, I was on the edge of my seat watching them just draw a pass, and I was like, this is crazy. This is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I was good. I really got to go back and watch stream. Being there, it was like I think Saturday
Ben, you would love it.
We were. I think Saturday we were farming sides while y'all were watching stream.
Yeah, and then
crazy
when her opponent Iono'd, was it Simone? Yeah. Yeah, when they Iono'd, and then it was iffy on who was gonna win from the stall.
counting the cards out, like
Yeah.
I was just like, holy shit, did they miscount? Did someone miscount? I was like, this will be crazy. Oh my god. And I do want to say, our Chaladon did almost win. So
I refuse
someone's
to acknowledge that
prediction
deck's
was pretty good.
existence. That deck is a fraud. That deck is on fraud watch. I think that deck is so mid. As a Snorlax player, though, that is my bias kicking in.
I was gonna say, I think you're crashing out a little bit right now.
Yeah.
I should be the ones crashing.
Well, something I know my partner was excited for as well is Golden Go.
Yes.
Right.
Golden Go. This was Golden Go's tournament to make the comeback. My partner just turned around. It was like cheering over there behind.
I mean, we did see the one Golden Go in top 4, piloted by Xander Perot. It got 3rd place. But if you look, like, if you go down the list and the top 64, there were 10 Golden Goes. Like, it was present at this event.
Yeah, and 30 made it into day 2 total. And 10 out of that, a third of them made it into top 64.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And day 2 was 360 people.
So what has made Golden Go so favorable into this new meta? Is it the Monkey Dory inclusions?
There's your answer. Next question.
Just get them over here. Get them over here.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of nailed it. The Monkey Dory mixed with just the infinite damage that Golden Go can do.
I think honestly also the format's slower because of Badoo. That's definitely slowed down the format a lot. And Golden Go just coin bonuses and draws and draws and draws. I sleeved it up and played it at locals today, Xander Perot's list, and I was like, this deck just draws. Sorry.
Yeah.
So
the Monkey Dory, I get it, right? Because Golden Go is a great deck, and the only thing it just dies to is item lock.
Yeah.
But
that's what I was gonna get. Is like, doesn't Badoo just kind of cook it?
Not with Monkey. You move the damage to the Badoo, knock it out.
That's fair. That's fair.
I think that's the entire point of the Monkey.
All you need to do is evolve Gimme Ghoul into Golden Go, attach Metal Energy.
1 energy.
And make it rain for 1.
Yeah.
I'm talking more like if they do like a late game lock, like after all your energy is discarded, and they try to item lock.
Yeah.
That's when you slam down the Monkey Door and you say, you're not item locking me for longer than 3 turns, so
also I guess it can kind of prevent that like 6 prize turn you see or 4 prize turn from Dragapult, where Dragapult goes 206 and then bosses orders and flips them around and then just does 206 and swings for 4. But Monkey Dory kind of does stop that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
God.
The Monkey, I think, just fits so much.
Yeah, and you can mind bend too. So honestly, that one inclusion, just one freaking card, I think just adds so much to that deck.
So another thing I think might be worth mentioning is the highest placing Miraidon after winning the last 2 regionals. Looks to be 26th place.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Is Miraidon still the best deck in format?
Incorrect.
It never was. Let's start with that. It never was.
It never was. It countered the best deck in format.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it was a turbo deck. So turbo decks do good early format.
That's how it always goes, yeah.
I do say, though, if we are going to breach a little bit out of the top 8, I do think it's interesting that we had, I believe, 3 Lost Spot decks like in day 2.
Grant Manley, man! Grant Manley!
Man, 11th.
11th place.
Yeah, like...
I forget what he said about it. I kind of want to pull up
that tweet is so funny. Grant is constantly,
I love
bringing laughs. He is hilarious, and he's a great deck builder. I love every list he comes up with. I was
had
halfway to
actually
speeding
Yeah.
this up, and then I was like, I don't feel like thinking a lot
So-
tonight, so I picked up
I'm gonna
Cold
have to screenshot this and I'll pull it. I'll pull it up when I edit. But yeah, Grant says, cut useless Roxanne and maybe Dogwater Crispin for Poffin. those are the changes he would make.
That sounds exactly like Grant.
Crispin definitely like what?
I mean, a Lost Box deck doesn't need more than 4 Colress, Boss, and then maybe one other thing. It needs 6 supporters. That's all it needs. The rest it does itself, you know. Like, I understand why the Crispin is in there, though. I understand his thinking before, obviously, the set of tweets that came out. Because if you do get item locked out of Mirage Gate, well, you need a way to attach energies, and Crispin is your way to do that. So I
Yeah.
understand it entirely why it's in there.
Yeah.
But the list looks solid.
But he could have thought of that awesome Monkey Dory idea that the Goldie players came up with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he did get 11th place. So
Yeah, I mean, Grant's a much better player than I ever
I
will
know.
be. I can't tell him what to do.
Oh.
He's objectively correct.
Right.
I'm not gonna argue on what's in the deck for someone to win 11th in a tournament that
Yeah.
I've not even participated in.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Did we want to discuss the real quick? One more thing I may want to mention is 17th place is Reggie Drago.
Yes.
Is Drago
Hey.
still a threat? I want to shout out my
That's-
friend Val. She was, I think, either 5. No, she crashed out. She was 4-0 playing Drago.
Did so well. Actually, she got Chrissy Crab.
Only 7
So-
Reggie Drago made it into day 2. I just want to just only 7.
Listen,
That was
right.
1.95%.
Because it was 7 really smart players that know Drago's still around.
And that's
I do
fine.
think that deck is still definitely something. If you're at your locals, it's something to be aware of. It is still a very good deck. Crispin does kind of help a lot. Apparently, it doesn't help the highest placing Drago list because
I
guess
was
what
gonna
they
say
didn't
Crispin's
play?
not in there.
No Crispin.
They
I
did
think
play
that's-
2 canceling colognes though.
Wait, I want to point out one other thing here. So 7
Okay.
Reggie Drago made it in. 8
Yes.
Gouging Fire went in, so please take
my
that
gosh.
as you will. Is
refuse-
Reggie Drago
Okay.
still alive? No, there's 8 Gouging Fire.
I might rescind my Reggie Drago
Yeah.
predictions.
I mean, all I'm saying is that somehow a Greninja EX made day 2.
That was
That's
a deck.
different.
Actually,
That's a Brave Soldier. That's
That
just
is
one Brave
actually
Soldier.
That is actually
Yo,
one
2
of the
ancient
dads
relics. All right.
from Tabletop Village who was playing Greninja EX. I kind of know him a little bit with the whole juniors community.
The 9 Charizard who made it into day 2. Shout out to you guys fighting the good fight.
You guys got to get off your copium. Stop
Yeah.
popping your copium. Stop playing Charizard. It is dead. It is so dead.
The top list May 25th.
Yo, I didn't even notice. Alessandro played Enamorous V in their Pidgeot control list.
Yeah, the pitch control list that's been floating around a lot. Actually, my friend Val is out in Italy right now. After EUIC, she flew to Italy for a week and just went to a challenge and hit that as her round 3 opponent, and she cooked it. But she just mentioned that, and I was like, interesting. Is that going to be a new standard?
Spice.
I mean, it stops Dust Noir.
Yeah, I was about to
It's a
say, I
deck.
think that probably covers most of like the cool decks that were in day 2, outside of the good top
Right.
8.
So if we didn't mention your favorite deck, Ben doesn't think it's cool.
I don't think it's cool. I'm
I
gonna be
wouldn't.
really honest.
But
But I
it's,
think we talked
do you
about it.
want this guy who crashed out at 7 p.m. with Snorlax to like give you an opinion on what a
He's
cool
Do
deck
you
is?
dissing
care
your
what your
favorite deck.
I look, if you played Hydreigon if you like Hydreigon, I'm sorry your opinion is bad.
Yo, I mean, Hydreigon got 109th.
I literally was just scrolling and I saw that and I'm like, oh yep, I'll target that.
If you want to target something interesting,
The one guy who played Hydreigon is just like, I work.
Alright,
Netty Kosak,
Netty Kosak.
you owe him an apology.
Wait, you know what? My email is bnw@tbogga.com. I just write it in.
If you
Write
wanna
I'm
it
signing
in.
you up for various adult
Yeah.
advertisements now.
Hey, my call wasn't terrible. There were a couple Raging Bolt. They just didn't do well.
And yet our Chaladon made it to top 4.
Listen, Bolt's just gonna come back next time.
I think Bolt is really good post rotation.
However, because of how good Goldie is right now, Bolt maybe should. Maybe my predictions
Bolt
are
should
wrong.
maybe
He's
not
taking a
right
nap.
now.
Yeah. I will say a little fun thing. We do have a welcome to the Limitless pages. Cofagrigus EX by Ashley Grant playing with Gardevoir at 220th.
Oh my god.
That's a card I would have never expected. But you know what? It happened.
I mean, I never expected Iron Crown in a Golden Go, or in a Gardevoir. I will say the person explained to me. I don't know if I got to like explain this. They said, "Oh yeah, I could go Monkey Dory and then Iron Crown EX and board wipe 2 Dreepies." And I'm like, that makes sense. How often have you done that? She goes, it's a thought.
The synergy is there.
Like the idea is there because it's a 3 energy cost, so you have to go Psychic Embrace, put 60 on it, and then double Monkey Dory, and then it does 50 to 2 targets. So like the idea makes sense.
Gotcha.
And she was like, honestly, I just want to do it once this week. And I'm like, you will get your chance. I'm sure of it, especially if we keep playing the way we're playing. So what else were we going to touch on today?
I feel like we should also talk about the beautiful week that all of us had, especially for the EUIC people coming to testing and just playing the trading card game live client. We had about a week span of all of the majority of the top decks just completely broken. We did have an update as of recording that we have yet to test if anything is working. But for anyone who is not in the know, what basically happened is that there was some type of glitch when it came to interacting with pulling energy out of the discard via ability. Archaludon, Gardevoir, and Miraidon decks were specifically targeted with this glitch. And there was zero communication about how
Gengar
exactly.
EX too. Don't forget the Gengar lovers.
Sure. I have one. The only person I could probably say about that is a friend of mine who played Gengar VMAX to Baltimore one year.
I don't know somebody who did that.
But yeah, so those 3 decks were specifically cooked in this glitch, which really sucks for me because for people who have watched my streams, I'm very much a Guardy player. I'm not necessarily a Guardy bot, so it does make me a good player. So I did have to change up to a wall control for the time being. But yeah, there was zero communication on exactly what this issue was. And it affected a lot of people, especially the people who were testing for EUIC, because now they had to transfer over to simulations or just webcam matches. I felt that this was probably one of the glitchiest states the client has ever been in.
And still
I
is.
agree. It's
I
still,
had
I think it's still like this. And it's
Is it?
also, even I was watching one of our teammates play last night, and he had reverted to Dialga Matang because our Chaladon is still not working.
yeah.
And when you're metal making and you try to do more than 2 energy, it just automatically puts the last energy on the thing you clicked on for the second to last energy.
And it does the same with I think Maridon, maybe?
On the generators.
On the generators, yeah. Um Guardy's
No, it's on
still
the
broken.
magneton. The
The
issue is the
Magneton, that's what it
magneton.
is,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
When you
Magneton.
pop the magneton, all of the energy goes to the last place you put it.
And they reintroduced old bugs. I believe another one I saw was you cannot draw area 0. If you draw it, it's just invisible and you can't use it.
Yeah.
I've had issues for a few weeks with Dragon Volt Super Rod.
Oh my gosh.
Fun fact, by the way, I believe I tested this. Every single black and white card is this way.
Sick.
So
All the black
yeah.
and white cards are like this?
all the non-reverse hollow ones.
Now, what do you think that means?
So
let's go for a Black White 2 remake.
let's go.
Let's go,
Exactly.
everybody, to Black
No,
White 2 remake.
so what's
I meant,
actually
are they actually like moving to try to do more like further back expanded?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They're actually adding expanded. They're not.
Maybe
adding
they should
expanded.
fix standard first.
If they could give me back, I would like to extend a formal request to Pokemon. Can you give me back all my fucking cards from the old online client, because I want them back. I want all of them back.
Well, what was actually funny, speaking of the online client, my partner Sky actually referenced that this is probably the glitchiest since Pokemon Trading Card Game Online's duplicate glitch at the tail end of it. I couldn't necessarily remember what exactly how it occurred, but it involved Radiant Eternatus. And you were just able to duplicate cards within your discard pile. And it was broken for a week, but at least there was communication. As this game continues on, I have been playing this since near day 1 of the Canadian alpha. Basically, it's an alpha. It was a beta at the time, but I've been playing this since day 1. I really wish I didn't. It's just been a broken mess. I seriously want to talk positive about this game. I truly do. However, every single time we get an update, every single time we get an expansion, it just keeps breaking and breaking and breaking, and it just gets more annoying. Especially with Journey Together, I have a bad feeling a lot of decks will just not function on day 1.
I'm going to be able to copy whatever I want with an Ensoro arc.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think
ladder
the worst
climbing
part,
would be very fun if that's the case.
I think the worst part is like it skews everything, like a lot of people rely on the ladder and online like tournament results to like figure out what people are playing, what people are thinking for their next event. And right now, you can't use any of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the client that we use for pretty much all of the Limitless tournaments too. So, and that's a good way to predict things too. And since no one could use 3 major decks.
Yeah, right now it's basically like flying blind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vancouver will be I mean, at least we'll have some other results to base off of, but like the Limitless tournament data is going to be so skewed going into Vancouver in 2 weeks.
Now, I don't think the Limitless data is like for those online tournaments are ever like the most reliable, because I truly do think most people just hide the sauce that they're actually going to play.
Oh, absolutely. I've done that myself.
Unless your name's Azul.
Yes, well, Azul can do whatever he wants, and then he'll just walk into Mexico, and apparently they just hand him a medal. So that's what happens there.
One Snorlax could have stopped his run. One single Snorlax could have stopped that run.
Okay, Snorlax player.
Bro, he didn't even play the Zapdos.
I think it's time. I think it's time to
For
bury
Snorlax to go to
Snorlax.
sleep.
Yeah, it's time for him to go to sleep. Like
we still have its last hurrah in Vancouver.
I'll be really honest. I am
think-
not touching the deck after EUIC.
I think EUIC was its last event. After two of them made it the top 8, people are gonna make sure they're fine.
Oh yeah.
People will. The Colognes will stay in the Charizards. Everything, all of the techs will be there.
Well, the
now.
Charizards will stay in day 1, but
Yeah, exactly.
Except for 9 of them.
The Charizards will probably stay where they are with the Badulak.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah, just
I think the online client, it needs a lot of help, and I don't know. I don't know anything about computers, so not computers, but software like that. So I don't know what the fix is here. Do you have to just build it again from the ground up, and then we have to have another new client, or
I hope
I'm
would
not aware.
all they would have to do, contact Overwolf, tell them to revive their game because it fucking worked.
yeah.
It was not good, but it worked.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter though. It worked. That's all we need.
I will say I have probably not seen this level of spaghetti code since Yandere Simulator.
The code's bad.
At least the good news is that I'm not banned from that chat. For Pokemon, what I am is for Yandere Dev.
What other what? I mean, when has live updated and actually broken 3 of the major decks? It feels like every other update is breaking a few, but I've never seen it break this many.
At this level, especially.
Yeah, it's been
right before EUIC.
Yeah, because I remember sitting there. We were riding the train into London, and I'm like, I'm gonna run a couple games on my phone while I'm riding the train into London. And I watched this Archaludon player evolve, and then we're just sitting there looking at the phone, and he's like, and then time goes, and then all 3 of his energy goes onto his active one that already had 3 energy on it, or all 2 of his energy. So he's sitting there with 5 energy on an Archaludon, and I'm like,
oh boy,
this is great for you, buddy. Not great for you actually, because it's both his orders.
you know, Archaludon was still to play because got
top four diff.
Outside, I mean, maybe this update fixed it. I'd like to get on and test it tonight. But
actually, I just now am seeing a tweet from Tablemon. Apparently, Dragapult's now bugged too.
So did they fix the original issues?
This is the best game ever, actually.
If you place the 30 damage and the 20 damage, the 10 damage immediately goes to where the 20 was placed.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, no.
And that was 21 minutes ago.
So if you're trying to test for Vancouver, simply do not.
Simply, may I recommend Twin Leaf or TCG Masters?
Or even Limitless Tabletop Sim at this point.
I mean, anything.
Yeah,
anything but this.
Yeah, so
go to your locals.
I will be 100% real with you. I am completely done with this format. 100%. We're completely done with Prismatic in my eyes, and I'm already post rotation testing. I know I've been nagging the team about trying to get post rotation testing, but I know a lot of people are going to Vancouver.
We all need.
We have now. There is a member of Team VG going to Vancouver, so we gotta help out that person.
There's 2.
Oh, 2. Sorry, there are 2 people.
Joe canceled.
Brendan.
Brendan, yeah.
Oh, Brendan is. Yeah, Brendan is.
Yeah.
Brendan's going to every North America regional.
All right. All right, so I did get an update on exactly what was fixed.
Do we want to know?
As I am reading, fixing an issue where effects of attached or moved energy cards like Archaludon, Assembly Alloy, Magneton, and Heavy Baton did not consistently allow a Pokemon to be chosen from decks attached to. They did not address Gardevoir in any
Gardevoir's
way.
forever broken. It's
No.
been broken. It's going to be remaining broken.
They did fix the glitch where they could allow 2 bench Pokemon to be promoted to the active spot.
I had that one. That was
was
great.
really funny. Fix an issue that could cause the match to become unresponsive if supporter cards like Gardenia or Giovanni were placed without having any energy cards in your hand to attach to a Pokemon. It literally fixed some, like, to be fair, bad bugs. I never knew Heavy Baton was an issue.
Yeah, I did remember seeing that.
Well, no one's playing Future Box unless they are bad at the game.
Dang, that's
And
crazy.
that's
I used to be a Future Box girly.
when it was decent, probably.
Yeah, when it was decent. Now
Not right now in Prismatic.
Wait, hold on. When was it decent?
Back
early format of
around
Paradox.
Indianapolis, 2024.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna play it to Indianapolis, and like I think it would have done well, but I pivoted at the last second to his Pathra and did abysmal, and I should have stayed on
Honestly, it is still getting like at like 1 placement per tournament still.
Because it's secretly goated.
Damn, imagine being worse than Charizard. That's crazy.
That's wild. I also want to point out that this
one made it to 83rd in Mexico.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I saw that.
Anyway, sorry. I just
anyway.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that this little update that fixed half of the issues went down for 6 hours. This update.
Yeah. This has been. I mean, it's rough. I think we as a community need to be support tickets. I have swear up and down by them. Support tickets even
are
to,
great.
They are.
I have not had a good record
with
responses related to tickets. But I mean, it's our best line of communication for this. It's absolutely needed. Now, I think what is good communication is exactly what we're going to be spending our money on. And Pokemon just loves making us lose money on cards. For example, we have just announced yesterday that 2 battle decks were announced. Actually, my apologies, rival battle decks. It's very interesting that they're putting in these alt cards into these battle decks.
Because they want them to sell. They know that they're not good.
They do. I love
them. They're dog water.
Yeah, I love them more.
I had so much hope for Marnie.
Oh yeah, no, Marnie.
Grimstar looked great when it was revealed.
Nah, it's stinky now. Yeah. I'm sorry
to say. Stinky.
Now I will say,
honestly, most of the trainers cards haven't been great, except
you're
for
all
Ethan.
Sleeping on Ethan.
No
one's sleeping on Ethan.
Like Ethan's the only decent one.
It's really funny that the only good trainer card set is Lily, but it's only for Clefairy. I do think it's really funny. Hop is a joke. Hop does not exist.
You can't talk smack on N. It got top 32 at a 5,000 person.
I never saw it talking N. I never saw it talk crap about N. I'm just saying.
Top 16.
All I'm saying is that this N Zoroark can catch a cornerstone, and tell me how he plays.
I'm just saying, there's going to be a lot of people that play N Zoroark, and there's also going to be a lot of people that hate the format because N Zoroark is going to be terrible.
I can't wait.
There might be a correlation there.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hit them in Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm extremely excited for my pick. It is a very common pick at this point that I've heard, but I'm interested to see what my sauce can add to the Terrabox.
I actually was testing a bit at work because over lunch I just had the 2 limitless simulators against each other. Yeah, this is an interesting format, to say the least, that we're going into.
I was trying to find answers for Alligator into your whole cornerstone, Courtney, and I came up with 2 that I actually didn't hate.
All right, hear me out. Listen, tell me right now.
So,
do we want to leak the sauce?
yes. Okay.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
All right.
First off, Baby Walking Wake. It does 90 damage to itself, which for Alligator loves that because it's always moving damage counters with a Monkey Dory. And then it does 180 damage. You move 30 with Monkey Dory, that's 30, 180 damage, just 210 on the Cornerstone.
So is this on attack? It does damage to itself.
Yes.
I'm going to kill it.
Okay, that's fine, but I'm going to kill your Cornerstone still.
But like, I'm gonna counterpoint. Scoop up Cyclone.
Scoop up Cyclone. Well, to be fair, Terrorbox does not run Scoop up Cyclone, but it's also who cares?
Are you not playing Penny in there at least?
Anyway.
No, it's Turo mostly because you do play Noctowl.
Oh, is there a cat behind me?
Yeah, there's a cat behind you. Hi, cat.
Anyway, that KOs your Cornerstone, but also Palafin does 210 for 2 water energy.
I will be 100% real with you. If you were playing Palafin,
in a deck about for Alligator,
it will win Atlanta.
If you were okay, two things. First of all, two things. By the way, I literally just had the solution. First of all, if you're going to do 90 damage to yourself, I'm going to bring up a Wellspring and knocking out a Monkey Dory with it.
Okay, and then okay.
We take two, so I take 2 prizes.
2-2, that's fine.
Yeah, 2-2, sure. And then we have the Cornerstone.
I already knocked out the Cornerstone.
How did you knock out the Cornerstone if you
with the freaking Walk and Wake?
You did 170 damage to yourself, buddy. No. You only did 170 to me.
No, I do 180 to you, and I moved 30 with Monkey.
And then exactly Monkey Dory to KO.
Yeah.
Because he used his Feraligatr ability. And
Feraligatr ability, Torrential Heart, move 30 with Monkey Dory, smack your Cornerstone for 180, it's dead.
Girl, that is way too much.
You're taking in a Cornerstone for freaking Feraligatr, and you're telling me that's too much.
And how much is that energy cost?
You're taking in a Cornerstone.
How much is that energy cost?
It's 3, which isn't bad.
3.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real, Chief. Against well, actually, against Terrorbox, you might have a turn to do that.
Against somebody that's stalling with Terrorbox, you got 300 turns.
Well, to be fair, Cornerstone is absolutely in there for the decks that just tell you to eat crap. Like, for example, this technically was the idea of Tord, to put the Cornerstone in. He never necessarily said what to toss, I believe, for the Cornerstone.
I think he said replacing a teal mask.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the teal mask replacement. I've been testing it with the removal. It's not my favorite removal. Anyways, yeah, so like Tord's deck, I'm surprised it went that far with wall control being all over the place. Frigoraph completely nukes it. And adding Cornerstone just tells it to eat its little rear. I'm trying to be PG here. But yeah. Outside of my opinions on that, my opinions about this super collection.
I was gonna say, I think that Flareon's a great deck, and you're gonna look great when you roll up with this Eevee box with the super premium collection.
So here's the double-edged sword. I absolutely love this cute deck box. I think the mat is probably the best a collection has ever made. These sleeves are beautiful. They're made by Pokemon America. They're gonna be awful.
Yeah, the mat is beautiful.
Yeah, the sleeves definitely won't be as good as.
Are we doing the sponsorship? Do you want sleeves?
That's the sell point. We got sleeves.
That's the sell point.
Are you sick of eating these sleeves?
Wait, where's my pack? Where's my? Well, I can't show you this. I'm an octopus. I don't have access.
Yeah, I mean.
Can someone toss it from the?
Are you an octopus and you want to prevent ink all over your cards? FCBC armor.
So here's the question: if you're gonna toss me FCBC into the ocean, is that considered littering?
No, because you're going to.
We're not putting trash in the ocean.
Yeah,
we're putting in the sauce.
This is high quality. High quality.
I've got mine already sleeved up, ready to go.
And
Okay.
acid free. You can shuffle easy.
The only thing I can really tell you,
plastic.
all I'm saying is the only way I can tell you, this is my crinkling of the white sleeves that I won at a tournament. Shout out FCBC.
FCBC.
Legitimately good sleeves.
They should put these in the premium collections, and then it would be worth buying because the deck box is ugly.
Yeah, but then they'd just be scalped at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, true.
I mean, let's be honest. This thing's gonna be scalped anyway.
It will be.
Because I am going to say a
Eevee
sentence
product.
that's going to get me canceled. Eevee is overrated.
Yep, I'm afraid
Co-signed.
Oh, am I the only defender of the EVs in this?
Start defending.
No,
overrated.
I will defend a few of them. I think that it's gotten overhyped though way too much.
I'm just saying the LGBT community are going to be at your door.
The LGBTQ.
It's crazy because there's the LGBTQIA community agreeing.
LGBTQT.
I don't know.
Yeah,
thank you.
Courtney said that. LGBTQT.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's the extra T?
What's
no,
the extra?
They're all cuties. Okay.
Exactly.
Cuties.
Exactly. Yeah.
The LGBT cuties.
To be fair, the majority of them are LGBT. So.
Jolteon's cool.
I'm an Espeon girl, honestly.
I think Jolteon's cool. I see the poll.
I did back in the day before it got overhyped. They've
been overhyped since they were created because they are they're like one of those original branching evolution, lines.
It was the first ones, I believe. Yeah.
Honestly, I liked evolutions. I liked evolutions until about Let's Go. That's when Eevee became a starter, everything became overhyped about it.
Eevee was a starter before Let's Go.
I was gonna say, Eevee's been a starter for a very long time.
Yeah.
A freaking picture on the case starter.
You are a hipster, my man. You are a hipster.
You are.
At that point, it's been so overhyped ever since.
I think Let's Go. If we're gonna talk about Let's Go, I'm gonna defend the Let's Go games first.
First off, I hate the Let's Go games.
You have an incorrect opinion on that. We might have to have a debate on that.
I'm gonna have to show you guys my YouTube video about Let's Go.
Hey.
Eevee.
$100 ATB resell. $100 ATB resell.
Oh, bro, I cracked that the moment I got that. That was payment for running a League Cup.
Yeah, my payment was really funny. So for people who do not know, I ran the Polly's Pool House first IRL tournament. I
also did too.
You did too, absolutely. Thank you, by the way. The winner got a Pokemon Center Prismatic ETB. As Sky stated to me when we were leaving, it came out. It came with her in her bag, and it came back with her. So
Sky's just goated.
Well, what's really funny is that we opened everything, and then she just gave me all of her packs. So it's like, okay. So I just got everything back.
So is there any other new product that was announced?
Well,
we did get some new Ethan's cards announced over the weekend. I don't know if that got out there.
The Pinsir and the Sudowoodo. I don't feel like they're
not.
So you guys are sleeping on it. I think that there is something there because they both attack on colorless.
I think Ethan has the sauce.
Double colorless or double turbo, right?
You don't need it.
Yeah, the Ho-Oh.
I guess.
I will say, really interesting idea. However, I feel like there are other Pokemon that they could turbo to better than this.
Yeah.
Listen, if there is one good card that got revealed recently, I think it's the Rapidash.
I think that card is so mid.
Drawing cards is mid now?
That's
He's a Snorlax player. Of course, he thinks drawing
I
cards is
love Instant
Yeah.
Charge. Instant Charge is a great ability. I think that draw one card
He'll
on
dance without needing an energy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
he's
like
just
it's
Or
on
the
stage one.
Dodrios that like hurt them, they self-harm for a draw. Like,
Yes, but there was all synergy with those. With the Teal Dance, it was on powering up an attacker to energy switch. This Rapidash just clogs the bench.
Yeah.
I do want to say that the artwork for it is a little.
Oh God, yeah, it's gorgeous.
Oh, yeah, the artwork is absolutely probably the best.
My daughter is going. That's going to be my daughter's chase card.
It's pretty, but also it kind of reminds me of a meme. Like,
it does
like,
look meme worthy.
Yeah,
it looks a bit like a meme to me.
Speaking of product, though, let's talk about the removal of product. Over the weekend, we did confirm that GameStop is actually stopping all pre-orders on the stores and websites, and they're only doing allocations.
They are also limiting, I believe, their sales to customers.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's like 1 or 2 TCG product per person.
I will
per day.
say, as someone who was a GameStop employee, shocker, right? A Tigro being a GameStop employee. This is possibly the worst idea on God's green earth. You're just giving these packs and product away to scalpers doing this.
They want the money, right?
It is god awful. Anyways, Crown Zenith ETBs are $105 at GameStop. I don't care about their pricing. Obsidian Flames ETBs are $82.
Yeah, I saw about all these insane prices for their ETBs, and yeah. I think my brain shut down when I saw it. I don't know the state of how the market value of all of the product is going haywire right now. I was talking to one of my local shop owners, and he was saying how a lot of the distributors are putting like a $500 cap or something like that on their product. So they go and they're like, yeah, $500 for such and such, or it's $5,000. It's some crazy price. It's like, okay, I could reach that if I was getting multiple cases of like Surging Sparks, and they're like, well, you only get one case of Surging Sparks. And they're like, okay, well, what are we supposed to get? How do we get to this limit? And they're like, well, we have a bunch of the Dragapult EX League battle decks that you can buy. And it's just like, no one needs that many. Yeah. No one needs that many of those. So they're coming into a completely, not a halt, but like kind of a wall that is being hit with the distributors and with the, merchants in this situation.
I mean, like, I know people that have basically quit out of this hobby because it is that impossible to buy product.
It's
I've seen worse days.
Yeah. I think as competitive players, it's not the end of the world for us. We will find our cards.
I stopped collecting. I stopped buying sealed product. I just buy singles now.
This is the end of the world for like people who don't play. I've actually run into a few conversations in the last like 2 days about this from people outside of the game where they're telling me that, that there's no way that they could ever get into this game because of this. And I'm like, the Gardevoir EX League battle deck still exists. It's like, you can always enter the game for very cheap, and you could always play the game for very cheap. You're being swayed by these people who are scalping all the prismatic boxes from BJs and hoarding them. And that's making you think that this hobby is impossible to get into. And honestly, to me, it's like, just say you don't want to get into it. Like, don't just say you don't want to get into playing the hobby, because the hobby's the cheapest it's ever been. It's super accessible because the scalpers are just ripping open packs on YouTube. They just dump the bulk and sell it. We are the ones who benefit from this. So honestly, when people say to me, they're like, oh, I would not be able to get into this hobby, and I was going to get into it, but I can't now because of this. I know that they're bullshitting.
Okay, pop off.
I will
Sorry,
mention.
I've been holding that in for like 2 days because I keep seeing it, and it was. Now's my time to say my piece. You are making up excuses. If you don't want to play, just don't play.
One thing I will mention as we lived through. I've been playing this game for close to 15 years. I lived through an era where I needed 4 Shaman EX in my deck and was spending $100.
Oh yeah,
I
that was a
lived
rough
through playing
time.
Mega Rayquaza, and that was a rough time. I think that where we're at right now does not even come close to that era of product.
Am I the only
I
one?
found this guy for $5 the other day.
Am I the only one that doesn't even understand this? I'm
So-
new.
Sideball
Yeah,
Mewtwo is when I stopped. Not Sideball, X-Ball. Those things were still, my godly, they were so expensive.
It was
as-
expensive.
So when I see everything happening right now with the card game, I'm like, there was worse times, and I'm grateful that I am where I'm at now because
That's
it
why I'm
was so
saying
much
you're
worse.
making up excuses. This thing is $5 now.
That's too much
I
for my
bought
blood.
I bought a playset of them for retro. Shout out playing 2017 format.
Let's go.
So I think that about wraps up where we're at. Any closing thoughts? Anybody got any League Cups or challenges for the weekend real quick before we try to wrap up? Any big plans for the weekend?
I'm on a little bit of a hiatus. I'm tired of this format.
Yeah, I am too.
If you see me around, it was on a whim, and I'm probably playing something easy.
Yeah.
I'm dragging you to a cup at some point.
There's a
Come
challenge.
get me.
There's a challenge happening at Safari Zone. In the middle of March, I'm gonna be attending. But in terms of this format, I literally don't care anymore. I am only testing for the full grip 3K tournament at this point. I'm gonna make money.
Are any of y'all planning anything for tomorrow for Pokemon Day? What do you think's gonna be announced?
Hold on. I'm gonna do my thing. I'm running a Pokemon Day event at my store at Hobby Vault out in Maple Shade, New Jersey. If this is out before then, please come. We are looking like we're going to be very full. Please call ahead and pre-register. We have so much we're giving away. I may be giving away a dice set from EUIC as well that I purchased of Ogre Pond dice and stuff because I wanted to give away something from EUIC. But yeah, I'm running my own event. I don't know if anybody else is doing anything.
I might go to one. It all depends on work for me.
I'm gonna be working from 8 to 4 today, so I'm gonna have to come into my local store afterwards, which will probably everything given out would be taken.
Honestly, I wasn't planning on doing anything.
That is crazy. Anyway, what kind? Should I put you pre-registered yet or not?
Jesus Christ! What time?
do I pre-register an Arcanine?
What time?
6:30 Maple Shade. It's a hike for you. If you can't make it, I totally get it. I know.
Hike. What time?
6:30.
That's a little bit of a drive.
Dang, that's crazy. I'm like 3 hours away. I can't do that.
It's 2 hours, I think, for me.
Friend, we're
probably
just
like 5 hours for me, so I will not be there.
I think you should go, Jake.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And pick me up.
Just pick you up on the way.
Yeah, let's go.
I will say,
if
you're going to something, the product we have all been given as stores is phenomenal. There are $100 Paldean Fates boxes being given away. There are really cool stuffed animals. There's the Sylveon promos.
I guess I'll text some people and see what they're doing and maybe go.
Yeah. I was gonna say, when I tell you guys, like, the product is phenomenal.
I'll be looking through the GameStop inventory and just yanking when I can.
Was last year the Pikachu trophy?
I won
yes,
last
it was.
year.
Yeah,
because it was the Pikachu trophy, but they raffled that off and they didn't give it to me because I won a Pokemon Day event at Craig's Games.
Me and my brother were in a tournament last Pokemon Day, and we both had the same exact record and tied each other for first. And and Tom coin flipped us, and my brother won and got the trophy. And I've been so mad over it for a year now. I'm realizing
That's wild.
Yeah.
I made the biggest mistake of my life as I won a Pokemon Center Lost Origins ETB last Pokemon Day, and I ripped it.
Dang. Oh well.
You know what was my pull? I think it was Eternatus V.
That. Good job.
Or not Eternatus V, the Enamorous V.
Even better.
It has a limitless page.
Yeah. That's good.
That's a card. That was my only hit.
It's a card that's at my levels.
Outside of that, I think that's about it for us.
Yeah.
I definitely
some of us are a little sleepy as we're recording this one a little later than normal.
Yeah. But it's perfectly fine. But yeah, so I think that wraps up for everybody. Thank you all so much for coming out. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're interested in any of the beautiful people that are on this podcast, or anybody who's been in prior, you can always check out the links in the description. Go subscribe to our YouTube page and check out our Twitter. It's gonna be very great.
Follow us on Spotify as well.
Spotify too. This podcast will be available on Spotify too.
Correct.
Wherever you are consuming this, click the button that lets you get more.
I don't think we have Apple Podcast.
I'm gonna set that up at some point. It's not set up yet.
One day we will. So mark my words.
Maybe if there's
we have like 2 people who are like banging on the wall and they're like, Apple Podcasts. People.
If you want to hear us on Apple Podcasts, let me know.
Hi, me. Hello, Jake.
On X.
Add us on Twitter. If you do, and this podcast does get on Apple Podcasts, I will eat a whole bag of Swedish fish on camera.
I think you just want to eat a whole bag of Swedish fish.
There's a bag of Swedish fish right next to me.
This doesn't seem like a punishment.
I will eat an FCBC sleeve and tell you how durable these things are.
Oh,
right.
Yes.
I was gonna say before we leave. Seriously, the best sleeves we've ever tried. Thank you, FCBC, for sponsoring us.
Yeah,
all the colors are great. The shuffle. I'll
be taking him to a cup this Saturday, playing something with a double turbo energy because I don't want to give it away too much.
Ooh, the sauce.
Oh, cloth. That's crazy.
It's weird that you put
single prize cloth.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all so much, and hope everyone have a good night. See y'all later. Bye. Good night.
Bye.